10 years from now, walking into a Starbucks for your morning coffee could look and taste very different. The company is the latest to announce massive changes to the way it runs the productions it serves in the hope of tackling climate change. But here's the question. What impact will those changes have on the food industry and beyond? Here to break it down for us is Professor of Food Distribution at Dalhousie University, our friend Sylvain Charlebois. Thank you so much for being here. This is a big question I don't think a lot of people are asking themselves. So let's talk through some of these changes that we're seeing more companies try to implement. So they're shifting from single-use to reusable packaging, investing in reforestation and water replenishment, managing food waste better, making stores more eco-friendly, and more plant-based menu items. Professor, how achievable are these goals?
They're as achievable as what Starbucks wants to, I guess. A few years ago, Starbucks actually failed to deliver on reusable cups. In 2008, they said that 25% of all coffee served at Starbucks would be served in reusable coffee cups, only to realize a few years later it was only 2%. So people will actually make Starbucks accountable to the goals that they actually set a few weeks ago. So I suspect they'll be under a lot of pressure to deliver.
Well, they're going to be under pressure to deliver, but there's also a big risk associated with these changes, or at least some of them. I mean, on a smaller test case, I believe, there was a smaller coffee chain, I want to say in the UK, that completely got rid of single-use cups, and they saw their business plummet by 25%. Shareholders at a big company like Starbucks might not have the stomach for a change that tectonic in nature.
No, absolutely. But Starbucks does have one luxury most chains don't have, is that their price points are typically much higher than average coffee shops around the country, and they have more room to play around with prices, because as soon as you start changing things to the menu, the way you serve products, it will increase costs, and Starbucks can do that. Other chains, if they actually increase their prices by 5 cents, 10 cents, people notice. But at Starbucks, it's highly unlikely. So they do have that advantage.
All right, let's talk about what's on the menu. The big thing that is changing to a plant-based menu. So what would that look like for the consumer?
Well, this is the one thing that's unusual with Starbucks versus other chains like McDonald's and Tim Hortons and Yum Brands, which owns KFC and Taco Bell. Starbucks is actually retailing its environmental strategy by changing menu items. They've showed the intent to go plant-based. They have also actually are looking at providing alternatives, dairy alternatives, instead of just focusing on milk. Right now, they're charging a little bit more for almond milk, soya milk, oat milk, but they're planning not to charge as much, and so they're going to actually be providing choice to consumers, and I think that's going to be key here for Starbucks.
But what's the impact, very quickly, Professor, what's the impact going to be downstream on, say, the dairy industry?
It's not going to be good, of course, because this signals a move away from dairy, and this is a massive organization, 30,000 restaurants in 80 countries. So, again, this is a clear vote away from dairy, and so, of course, it's not going to be good for dairy, but it is going to be good for consumers because they're going to have choice. They're going to be provided with alternatives, and that's kind of the new normal.
Sylvain Charlebois, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.